Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's be completely honest. Are you happy with your job? The fact is, a huge number of people can't say yes to that. Too many of us are stuck in a job we've outgrown or one we never really wanted in the first place. But we stick it out and we give reasons like, what if the next move is worse? And I've put years into this place. And maybe the most common one, isn't everyone miserable at work? But there's a difference between reasons for staying and excuses for not leaving. It's time to get unstuck. It's time for Strawberry.me. They match you with a certified career coach who helps you get from where you are to where you want to be, either at your existing job or by helping you find a new one. Your coach helps clarify your goals, creates a plan, and keeps you accountable along the way. Go to strawberry.me/career and get 50% off your first coaching session. That's strawberry.me/career.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. My name's Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And today we are continuing our coverage of Seeking Sister Wife Season 5, Episode 11, Seeking a Connection. Before we dig into that, we have a couple of announcements. So Seeking Sister Wife is going to wrap up. There's going to be 13 episodes total. So our last Seeking Sister Wife episode will drop on June 4th because, we're a week behind the show. So then starting June 11th, we are going to continue our Sister Wife coverage, our
Sister Wives,
our Sister Wives coverage. And last we left off, we were in season 6.
Mm-hmm.
They had just gotten into the homes, the cul-de-sac in Las Vegas. They qualified.
The last minute.
So who was the last to get it? Mary. That's right. That's right. Mary.
Quite upsetting. And it was Christmas. They were trying to get in by Christmas, but didn't happen.
Yes. So Mary finally got in. She was worthy enough to get in. Oh, this morning, the place where I got that Mother's Day massage and sauna thing.
Uh-huh.
The place is called Worthy. It's like Worthy. We should go because it's not far from Mom's, and it's really reasonably priced, and they do a ton of stuff there.
Oh, I'm up for that.
I'm going to show you the brochure anyway. But I was just laughing when I saw it. I'm like, it's called Worthy.
We are worthy of massages.
Yes. And it is. The whole thing is geared towards women and being worthy and worthy of self-care. And they do these. The woman was trying to sell me a monthly, you could do this. You pay a monthly membership fee. I was like, oh, and the membership fee was $300 a month or something like that.
For unlimited?
No, you get a certain amount of stuff like credits. I'm like, I'm not going to, and you can roll the credits over. I'm like, but they expire at some point. I said, I know myself well enough to know. Well, I know I don't want to spend $300 a month on this, but I also knew I'm never going to get here enough. I'm going to stress myself out trying to spend these credits.
Trying to get your money's worth. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway.
So that's starting then.
And we also have the whole, from season 1, episode 1 up until wherever we left off in season 6.
Yes.
Is on our feed. So
yes.
Go back and reminisce, listen to the recaps of the old episodes, and then we will pick up from where we left off and keep going till we're done.
Till the end of time.
Till the bitter end.
And yeah, so that's that. And and if you enjoy us and enjoy listening to us, we have a Patreon. There's one tier. It's an $8 tier. So for $8 a month, you get all of our episodes ad-free. And you also get, we just recorded this, a monthly true crime. We just talked about Sins of the Parents, the Crumblies trial. Really interesting case. We do a weekly bonus. So each week we talk about, what's going on in our lives. You get to hear about, our mother, what she's up to. And what our kids are up to. And then we also talk about like pop culture and things that we see in the news and the media that we find interesting, and that kind of stuff. And then we also do a monthly Ask Us Anything. So you can ask us legal questions or mental health questions, or just again about ourselves and our lives. So all of that for $8 a month. And
that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a bargain.
It is.
It is a bargain. So go check it out. Go to patreon.com/psychlegalpop. All right.
Okay. So
I think that's it. So where should we start? Do we start?
You want to get the ones, let's start with the ones where they wrapped up this.
Yeah. You know what was crazy? No Merrifields. Merrifields.
Well, I think the last 2 episodes are going to be heavy. Heavy.
Yes.
So
okay.
They had to wrap up these other people. So we move on to the meat. Okay.
So let's do the Salahuddins, who we just put them to, we literally and figuratively put them to bed and wrap that shit up.
Well, and a lot has come out about them, their personal lives.
Oh, really?
Well, they are first cousins.
What?
Yes.
Wait.
What?
Naeem?
Yes. Mama Jamila is Nyla's aunt. I think their mothers are sisters.
What?
His mother, yeah, like his mother and her mother are sisters. They're literally they're first cousins. I didn't think that was legal or
what? What?
Yeah, I think yes. Yes.
What? Huh?
Yes.
How? Wait, I don't think. Are you able to do this?
That's what other reputable podcasts are reporting. I haven't personally looked into this, but Amy, I believe, on Little Miss Recap confirmed this.
No.
Jake and Matt and Jake. Reality.
No.
Yes.
OMG. So these two, not only is that his mother, she has been yelling at her aunt this entire time.
Yeah. Well, there's also some speculation. Again, I'm just reporting what other people have been reporting. I don't have time to go on Reddit and research this, but they're financially connected with Jamila, and so I think they might all be realtors. Like Jamila is a realtor in New Jersey because they only live that place. The place in Pennsylvania where they live is I think it's less than an hour to New Jersey, and I think that they might work for her, and I think they own property with her. Like she's a very big part of their life, which I think is why they have to have her buy-in on this, because I think they're somewhat financially dependent on her.
Okay, well, stop calling her Godzilla. If you're so financially dependent on her, you don't think she's going to watch the show and see that you called her Godzilla?
Yeah, and they have so Naeem and Nyla only have one child together. She has like 2 or 3 other children, and he has 2 or 3 together. They have 7 or 8 children.
Oh, okay.
But only one together.
Got it. And I was wrong. Her name's not Harriet.
Yeah, it's Haya or something. Oh, I don't know where you heard Harriet.
Okay, so hold on. I was not, because I heard Ace say this on Ace and Caitlin. He also saw, or Caitlin saw this. It was Harriet in the closed captioning.
Oh.
So and that, because that's where I was like, Harriet. I read that and I'm like, what? That is so weird. So I'm not crazy because it was written, but it's Haya.
Okay, I knew that had to be a mistake. I knew that nobody in this day and age names their child Harriet.
Yes, and that's why I was so perplexed. Okay, so
Okay.
Hayam.
Yeah, so
Hayam. Is it Hayam?
I don't even know. I thought it was Haya.
Haya.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't mean disrespect.
But I think that the mom calls her Harriet or something like that. And they feel
Jamila?
and I think she, or Aunt Jamila,
Yeah,
feels
Aunt Jamila.
it feels like she's being disrespectful. I think that was one of the arguments, was like, you don't even call her by the name that we've named.
It's a Muslim name.
Yeah, and they get mad.
Muslim.
Yeah. But hold on. Wouldn't Jamila also be Muslim?
Yeah, but I don't think she's as serious about it. Or maybe she's not. I mean, Naeem was raised Muslim. But then remember the story about the Christmas wreath or whatever. I have this feeling that Jamila is not as, she's really, if she did come from a Muslim family, I don't think feels very strongly about it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I just know that there's more to this story. I don't know what their agenda was, but I think it failed. I mean,
no kidding.
They turned out to be, they couldn't even, they couldn't find anyone. They couldn't close the deal with anyone. They couldn't close the deal with Jamila. And so after that disastrous lunch, they go back home and Jahari is still there. And at a certain point, Jahari is just kind of like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you care? What,
Oh my God.
Why do you need her to buy into this? And Naeem was very adamant that,
Yeah.
it had to be that way because this person was going to be around her all the time. And so therefore, that's also what makes me think that they probably spend a lot of time together. And maybe they do work with her. Maybe they even live together in one of those properties. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on Reddit now because I'm like, I cannot believe this. So this woman writes, and she's this was 2 weeks ago, Alicia Melville Esquire. It's true. They are first cousins and they are my first cousins. So this woman, she said she's the first cousin. Naeem has 2 kids from a prior relationship. Nyla has 3 kids from a prior relationship, 2 with an Egyptian guy she was with and 1 with another guy. They have 1 kid together as first cousin parents.
Oh gosh, isn't that genetically dangerous?
Yes, he has actually
close.
And then someone wrote Destiny Salahuddin. He has 3 kids actually, me and my 2 sisters. I'm Destiny Salahuddin. So Naeem has 3.
I feel like this family could have their own show.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. These people are on Reddit correcting each other. Then the mom comes in, she's like, yeah, I had 3 kids with Naeem.
Wow.
And then one person's like, just when I thought you couldn't outdo the Davis big bed.
It's true. This is really quite a revelation.
Uh-huh. Yeah. They were everyone's just like, you have got to be kidding. Wow. Let's see.
Yeah, because apparently they have another home. Yeah, people are looking at property records. They have another home that's in maybe Jamila and their names. I believe they co-own some property with her. And I don't know if it's in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or what. But I mean, yeah, she played such a heavy role in the season. I mean, she was like the third character, you know.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
obviously a big part of their lives, and you know, they're trying to get her on board with this, but it's not going to happen.
Well, this one person's like, I love how the mom disapproves of polygamy, but incest is apparently fine. So one person's like, oh, Lord, that's too much for my tired brain to comprehend. Boy, I tell you, just read Reddit. We can make a whole show of this.
I know. Yeah.
Forget the pot. Like, forget content. We could just read Reddit.
Read Reddit threads. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. Hold on. Lord. Okay. Against what most people think, first cousin marriages aren't great. Who's promoting first cousin marriages?
Who said they were great?
But usually produce offspring that are fine. Double cousins, though, that's a whole different story. What do you mean double cousins? Who's talking about double cousins? I don't know what people are talking about.
Yeah. How can you be a double cousin?
Yeah. Double cousins when sisters marry brothers, right?
Oh gosh, I don't know. No, because I mean, if you're a cousin, then you have it's a parent who has a sibling, and then that's their child. How can it be double?
Okay, so now wait, are people now saying that they're double cousins? That Naeem's parents. Okay, wait.
Okay, wait, we can't do. We gotta
move on. I know, but I'm just saying that is it possible? Because that Jamila, the person that Jamila is married to, and they had Naeem, is also
Nyla's father.
Yes,
he then went and married the sister, and that would be Nyla's mother. Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? You can do that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's some wild shit.
That is some wild shit right there.
This family. Wow. So now I'm thinking, I forget they need to just have their own show. Forget that they don't, I don't know if they're really serious about the sister wives thing or not. But I don't want to know more.
I don't know. I wonder if they all did this thinking that they were going to promote their real estate business or something. And there's a bunch of stuff on the cutting room floor of them showing houses or something. I don't know, because they could not accomplish anything.
No. And didn't really seem to want to.
Yeah. Because it made no sense.
They really weren't trying. And also, when Nyla was trying to act like she was fine with this and she's not jealous and whatever, but I don't know, her body language and facial expressions and everything else said otherwise. I think this was all, you're right. I think they thought, let's go on a show. We're going to promote our business. We got this crazy mother aunt here, and we'll put her on. She's entertaining. People love it. And maybe we'll get our own show. I mean, remember that Family Chantal?
Yes. Or we'll be the TLC version of Millionaire. What's the Millionaire show on $1 Million Listing? $1 Million Listing, Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania
edition.
And Western New Jersey. That's our territory.
Double cousins.
That'll be the name of the show. Double cousins. Oh gosh.
Selling real estate, and then the picture of the two of them with and then with the sister wife, and then Jamila, all on that thing, the little thing they put in front of your house.
Yeah. Well, now they just get interesting right here at the end here.
Yes.
We'll see.
Well, we see them come back home after lunch with Joe, and Nyla and Naeem are just, they're all mad. They're all stomping around because they just can't believe aunt slash mom brought the daughter into the conversation because they don't know the kind of relationship that they have with their daughter. They don't know. They don't know about it. And I thank God for Joe. Thank God for Joe. And so do we think Joe's a plant? Do we think Joe's their friend and is really there? Or do we think Joe, because Joe is the voice of reason here, because Joe calls Nyla on her shit. She does. And she's very much speaking the truth here.
I don't know. I don't know if these people are actually serious. I think she probably met her in some Facebook group for people who are into polyamory, polygamy, whatever. And, maybe they started talking and then, when they got on the show, she's like, oh, will you come? And, she was up for it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
Yeah. Because Joe essentially says, well, why do you keep shoving this down the woman's throat? Stop.
Yeah. Why do you care?
Yeah.
And again, Naeem is always adamant about she's got to be okay with this. She's got to be cool with this. It's like, well, why do you have to please your mommy? So, I mean, this seems like a pattern.
Yeah.
Your whole life, I bet you've had to please your mommy and you have to do what your mommy says. And, you can't have mommy mad at me. That's kind of the sense I get.
Well, but now that we know that she holds the purse strings, it's all starting to make a little bit more sense.
Maybe that's not confirmed, but it's a theory.
Well, the other thing too is I think the other thing that he mentioned, I think does make sense, which is if I'm going to have a relationship with my mom, I can't just spring this up on her and tell her what's going on with my life, which I do understand, which is that, if I'm going to have a relationship with my mom, if this is going to be my life, I would like to be able to bring my both my wives to, the family barbecue and I understand that, I'd like to do that. And I don't want to have to leave my wife at home. And if I have children with her, those children at home because my mother doesn't approve. And I get that, but I think
it takes some time, though.
Yeah. And I also think that then you say to mom, well, then we won't be joining you for the barbecue. That's the, if this is what you want, then I think you say to mom, okay, well, then we won't come to the barbecue. And that's the choice that you make.
Also, there is no person yet.
Yes. Too.
There is no person. Okay. So let's take this one step at a time.
Yeah.
Let's find a person. Get to know them, and if it starts to get serious and you get into a relationship with them, then would be the time to introduce that person to Jamila. And Jamila's probably not going to be warm right away, but over time, as she gets to know the person, she'll probably, be okay. But these people, all these couples are all about, we want results now.
Yeah.
We want to meet someone. We want to lock this down. We want this now. And it's like, we've said this before. Life doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that, right? Even if Jamila's like, well, I won't, even if the Salahuddins found someone and the mom's like, well, fine, you're then fine. Don't come to the barbecue. It's like, you have to kind of live your lives. And then maybe over time, Jamila's like, oh, they're really not coming to the barbecue. Oh, this sucks. I really miss them. And okay, well, fine. You can come to the barbecue, but I'm not going to talk to her. And it's like, oh crap. Then that means I don't get to talk. Oh, this really sucks. People have to sort of, let them make their choices. And then they sit with them for a while and they realize oh, this really sucks. Or, the Salahuddins have to decide, do we care enough about this person to sacrifice the relationship with mom? Oh, no, we don't. Okay, fine. It's that's the thing. Everything's a
focus on
choice.
Let's just focus on finding someone for now.
But Joe did call out Nyla. She said there was some disrespect. She gets why Jamila was mad at her because, you were pretty angry.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to have a relationship on the side? And I think that's it. And then we see them, like, Joe leaves, and then we see them go upstairs and get into bed, and okay, that's it.
That's it.
And I was just like, okay, I guess they're wrapping this up.
They're going to keep seeking.
Yeah.
Keep trying. All right. So next, the other one that was wrapped up was Shane and Ashley.
Yes.
And
yes.
Did you listen to Amy?
I did. And yeah,
the Archer Little Miss recap, and they did an interview with Shane
Sherwoods.
and Ashley. Yeah.
Yes.
Sherwoods.
I did listen to it, but I made the mistake of listening to it in bed, and I fell asleep.
Oh.
So no shade to Amy or Amanda or to the Sherwoods.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I listen to something in bed, I will fall asleep. So I missed, and so I need to go back and pick up where I left off.
Yeah. They explained some things.
Mm-hmm.
He explained what was going on with the cancer diagnosis. And I guess he did go and get the scan he needed.
Mm-hmm.
And he did find that there was some cancer in there. And so he had an operation, I think just this last week. And removed it. And I guess they got it all out and everything is fine. But he still has to monitor that, obviously. And then this is something else they both said that was very interesting. Because Amy asked, well, what do your families think about this? And they said none of their parents know.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. He said, I guess both their parents are very religious.
Conservative.
Like,
don't go on social media or watch TLC. I mean, that was, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Is that possible? Or even just people in the town you live in would, I saw your kids on TV. I mean, I feel like at some point, somehow they would come across this, but maybe not. I don't know. And Ashley was saying that she wanted to wait to tell her parents until, they actually did find someone and they had been living together successfully. So then she could say to her parents, look, this is working. We've been doing this for 2-3 years or whatever, and it's working really great. So you can't really say, oh, this is a crazy idea. Which they probably still will, but yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised when I heard that. I was like, God, that's a big risk. Yeah. I would think that if my parents were really conservative and if I thought they were going to have a real problem, I think I would really want to have a conversation with them about it more than if otherwise. So that was really surprising. Really surprising.
I don't see how they can keep this from them. But okay. That they're just, and they explained more about just their lives, some things that, Ashley talked about her work. I guess Shane's a stay-at-home dad, and they're living in his grandparents' house, and he grew up there, he's from there. Just stuff like that, details like that. And Ashley does she does like telehealth in emergency departments. Like
I did hear that. And actually what she did, I remember that. And I thought her response to that was very interesting. And I was like, you know what? She's absolutely right. She was saying that of all the jobs that she could have had in mental health and behavioral health, this was the one that made the most sense. She could be on the show. And she was absolutely right. I was like, yeah she's
she
right.
Doesn't form relationships with people.
Yeah. Right? And then people wouldn't, if they saw her and she'd be like, yeah, you saw me on the show. Bye.
Yeah.
And she's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and maybe I'll think of some other stuff as we talk about this, but basically their segment starts out with they're filming a interview on the couch and the phone is ringing. phone is ringing, won't stop ringing. And so Ashley stops, and it's Sarah. That's her name, right?
Yeah, Sarah.
God, I'm having trouble with names today. So it's Sarah on the phone, and she's, I don't know, in the neighborhood or on the way to their house and wants to come over. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, luckily the cameras are here. I bet you that Sarah told the producers what she was going to do.
Yeah.
And said, oh, well, at this time, we'll be filming, so just come over.
Yes.
Text when you're on your way. So they go outside. I don't know why she couldn't come inside. But anyway, she gets out of her car. Sarah gets out of her car. Shane and Ashley go outside, and basically she breaks up with them.
Yeah. It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's me. They get that speech. And I guess that it was just the day before that she was over there having that conversation with them about, not seeking out any other partners and, just kind of, I don't know if she was promising to be exclusive. It was kind of vague, but anyway, they were all happy after that. And they said that they had texted her and she texted them, in between. They thought everything was fine. So they were just completely shocked.
Yeah. Did she say this, or did I write this down, that Sarah said that she felt bullied into the decision? Did she say bullied, or is that my interpretation?
I don't remember if she said bullied, but I remember she did say that, yeah, she felt pressured. And, like, she had to make a decision, like, too soon, and which she's correct.
Yeah.
People, what is the urgency here?
And so, I don't know, I can't remember if Shane talked about this in the interview with Amy or not, but like, I really, really feel like, yeah, she got bullied. I think they put a lot of pressure on her to make a decision. It's like, why can't she just date? And I feel like, I don't know if again, I understand you're filming a TV show, so there needs to be some definitive answers. And I understand that. And I understand that, like, yes, Ashley and Shane are at this point in their life where, they got a baby and they got a baby on the way and he's struggling with health issues. So they want they can't be casually dating a bunch of people. But why can't you just sort of say, like, hey, we're serious about you. We're not, you don't have to answer it on your end, but just so FYI, we're serious. And so we're just going to focus on you. Why can't you just keep it that way and just allow it for it to just happen? Yeah. I don't know. I personally feel like Shane kind of blew this for Ashley, because I don't think Ashley needed it. I don't think Ashley needed so much of the security. Yeah. Shane needed the security. Yeah. And I think that Shane blew this for Ashley. And I kind of feel like Ashley knew that. That's just me. I feel like Ashley in that moment kind of knew that Shane blew this for her. And I kind of wonder if Shane maybe consciously, unconsciously did it on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And after she broke up with them and they go back in the house, he was pissed. And they were both upset. They couldn't understand, well, you just told us yesterday this, and, you've been calling and texting, and it seemed to come out of nowhere. But they had to know that, there's no foundation here. There's zero foundation. So it's not like it just comes out of nowhere. And Shane was really angry. Like, I've never seen him like that before. Yeah. He was, because normally he's just this mild-mannered,
See, and that's the thing. I don't know. And again, like, I didn't hear the whole interview, so I don't know. I think there's something more to Shane. Yeah. I think Shane comes across as mild-mannered. And I'm not saying that I think Shane's a bad guy. I'm not saying that. But I do think that I think that Shane leans on, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm affable. I'm a people pleaser. I'm this person a lot. And I don't think that that's necessarily what's going on. I think that he people pleases too much. I think he probably is too nice a lot of times. And I think that he does this. I think this is a bit of what he does.
Yeah. And I believe he's probably pretty insecure, even again, he acts like he's not. But I think he's very insecure about this whole thing with Ashley. I think he's afraid of losing her. Maybe thinks that, I don't know, she's a little too good for him.
Yeah.
He's afraid of losing her.
Yeah. He's very, he feels like he married up. He feels like he feels like he has to do whatever he needs to do to kind of keep her and make her happy. And so instead of just feeling good about who he is as a person and being like feeling worthy in his power, being, worthying up and being secure and strong in his power and liking who he is as a human being, he runs around trying to do all this other stuff. And I think he felt like, okay, secure Sarah to make Ashley happy. And then, Sarah does this. And I think that he does not think, he's not taking a step back and going, gosh, why did Sarah do this? This is what motivated her to do this.
What went wrong here? Yeah.
It's immediately like, how does this affect me? This bugs me. Why would she do this? And that's why he's so angry.
Yeah.
What did they say about Sarah in the interview with Amy?
I don't remember them even talking about her.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. A lot of it was sort of kind of about their lives and their history, and they explained some of the things on the show. And I think that Ashley might have talked a little bit about her bisexuality, and I mean, basically, she kind of didn't really know it till she knew it, and it was, after she'd gotten married to Shane.
Oh, I thought she realized it when she got married before. Didn't she have a first marriage?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of...
Maybe I did listen to a lot more of this than I thought.
Maybe in your sleep, somehow.
It all got through osmosis,
Yeah, I can't remember.
I thought she got married once before, and that during that marriage, she realized that she was bisexual. But what I don't understand is why didn't she explore her sexuality more between marriage
before she got married
too?
Yeah, well, and she said that when she met Shane, she said she'd never met anyone that she had such good communication with, and so she was really attracted to that. And I think she wanted that. I think she wanted a relationship with a man where he was very good at communicating, which is hard to find. And
oh yeah.
So she's like, well, I don't know. Obviously she didn't do anything in between marriages. She married Shane, and then, those feelings, probably didn't go away. And, then she had to talk to Shane about it. And again, Shane, he'll do anything for her.
Yeah. Yep.
So they, constructed this plan, which I don't know, because it's got so many rules in it. I don't know if they're going to find someone willing to do this. It's very specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very specific.
And but you didn't watch Couple to Thruple. No. But I might insist when Couple to Thruple 2 comes out that we cover it. Okay. Or I'm going to force Amy to let me cover it with her and Amanda. I might have to jump on that and just force them to let me come in because I love that show. But, one of the things that they were talking about was, this thing called couple privilege, where the couple kind of decides everything. Like, this idea of we're in charge and you come along for the ride. And we're seeing this, right? A little bit of Shane and Ashley sort of telling Sarah how things are going to be versus Sarah sort of saying, hey, I get to decide some things too.
Right.
And I think that, Shane and Ashley need to slow down a little bit and think about this and think about what's this experience like for the other person. And
it's like you want this person to just come into your world, do what you want to do. And also Sarah had a child. So she probably is like, I can't bring my kid into this. This is too much. I mean, it's a lot to expect. it's such it's such a little tight little box someone's got to fit
Yeah.
in.
Mhm.
And so that's going to be very, very hard to find. But then
Yes.
we cut to like 4 months later. Ashley has had the baby.
Yeah, little boy.
Swayman, I think is his
Is
name.
it Sway? Or is that the
Well, they call him Sway,
they
but
call
I
him
think
Sway.
the full name is Swayman.
And then the older child is Sai? Is that it?
Yeah. I don't know if Sai is short for something,
Oh, okay.
but
This Sway looks just like Shane.
well, they both do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of the.
And
kids
then we
look like him.
learn that they got the results back from Shane's scan and everything looks good. And I guess one thing that I was a little confused about, so every 6 months he has to go back and get a scan. That seems like a lot. So for the rest of his life, every 6 months he has to go back for a scan.
Probably.
That's a lot.
I mean, maybe if he goes for like 5 years and nothing ever comes up, they might say, okay, you can start coming in once a year.
Okay. That just seems like it's a lot. Every 6 months is a frequent.
It is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, oy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. You think we'll see them back again?
I don't know. I definitely don't think we're going to see the Salahuddins. I mean, do
Yeah.
you?
I have no idea. And then they should have wrapped up Becky and Justin. I'm
Ugh.
sick of
Should we
them.
go to them next? Let's go
Yeah.
to them next because
God,
I
how
hate these two
annoying.
people. And Yari run. I'm amazed
How
Yari
is
came
she
back.
stuck? Yeah, how is she stuck around the song? And
Because
scenes from next week, she goes on another date with him.
they've got to be paying her. Yari's kind of like they have got to be throwing money at her. She had to have been like, no, I'm not going. We'll pay you double, triple. We'll pay you. They've got to be just throwing money at her,
Yeah.
or she's desperate for a free lunch. I don't know. Yari, I do not know. Or Yari's desperate, or she really thinks Justin's hot. I don't know. She can't. I mean, Yari's a beautiful woman. Justin cannot be the best she can do.
Yeah. Well, and Justin, I don't find Justin to be like not attractive physically. It's his personality. It's just so awful.
Mm.
So anyway, and Becky is just awful. She's
Ugh.
delusional. So she's crashing this date. This is the next day, I guess, because she talked about
Yeah.
how was your date last night? So God, the next day.
So do we think, so we meet Carolina, who's the sister-in-law, and Nancy, who's the daughter. So at first I was like, oh, is Carolina married to Nancy? But that would be way too progressive.
Oh, Carolina is Justin's sister. That was
Oh.
Justin's sister. And
Oh, I
then
thought that was sister-in-law. Oh, it's Justin's sister.
That's what I
that was.
thought.
Oh, I thought it was sister-in-law. So I was
She
thinking,
kind of looks like Justin.
oh, I thought she was. I thought they were married, like the two women on the couch on the bed. I was like, oh, that's so So Nancy's their daughter. So I
Mhm.
thought Nancy and Carolina were married, like that she was this. Sorry, I got
That
that
would be
way
like
off.
Daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law, duh. So I think I was thinking sister-in-law. So she's the Okay,
Yeah, she's Justin's sister. Becky's
Got it.
sister-in-law.
okay,
And then Nancy
is their daughter.
one of
Okay,
their
sorry.
kids.
Look at that. So, but I was like, oh, they can't be married. That's way too progressive for Saline, Texas, I guess.
Well, and this,
And this family.
well, but this family, they want to be polygamous. So, let people love who they want to love.
Yeah. Anyway, so Becky is getting ready because they're all going on a date with Yari.
Yeah. And she's saying she doesn't want to upstage Yari. So she doesn't want to, wear anything too fabulous.
Yeah. Well, you're
Don't worry, Becky. Like none of these dresses that you're showing or these outfits are gonna upstage anybody.
Yeah. Well, I love this. You're going to a Mexican restaurant in the middle of the day and in Saline, Texas, and she's like whipping out these like hoochie mama, like, bodycon, 1985 dresses. You're just like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Becky.
And she settles on some frumpy, flowery, Little House on the Prairie looking dress.
Yeah.
But, oh God. This
Okay.
is painful to watch.
It is. It is. But hands down, the best part is, okay, so she finally picks a dress. We see her. They drive to the restaurant and they're parking.
Mhm.
Justin is so unsure if she's even going to show up. He's kind of like, well, let's just wait in the car because I don't want to say there's going to be 3 of us if she's not even going to show up. He does not want a repeat of the boba shop. Do you know what I mean? It is that sad.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
got to believe that this man has been through this so many times that he doesn't even want to sit there and eat, like he doesn't even want to sit and have chips and guacamole
No.
without, do you know what I mean? And I was just like, God, at least I'd want the margarita and the chips
You
and
could
I'd still want lunch.
Yeah, still have lunch, whether she shows up or not. You're there.
You still need to eat.
You know, TLC's paying for it.
Yeah.
Who cares
I
if
mean,
he doesn't come?
He doesn't even want to do that. And then he's like, oh, wait, there she is.
Oh my God, she came. The check cleared. She's here.
You do know. So you know that Yari probably goes and cashes that check first. She's like, okay, I'm going to this check cashing place.
Right.
All right, I got my money,
Yeah.
putting it in my pocket.
Yeah.
All right, there I go.
And they say that it's her birthday and she's spending her birthday with these 2 idiots.
Oh, I thought it was like the day before or the day or something. It can't possibly. No way.
They
that
just
Yari's
said it
doing
was
that.
her birthday. I don't know if it was this day is her birthday or.
Well,
I can't believe she's even there. I'm stunned.
and then Becky says, "Oh yeah, she's his type." So, and then I just feel that makes me feel kind of sad because you are married to someone who is not attracted to you. Like he loves Latina women that work out a lot.
Yeah.
And so basically when he looks at you, he does not want you. How sad is that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know. It is sad. I don't even know what to say about these
Yeah.
people.
It is so awkward. It's so awkward.
Yeah, they're doing something to get her. They're like, we'll pay you for 3 days. I think the next day they'll probably go out on a date the next day, and that'll be it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and she's gonna dump him, and then they'll have a scene where they say, well, we're just gonna keep looking. It's like these people are so uninteresting, and I mean, I don't know what to say.
So it's the same thing. Becky is right. It's so awkward. Yari doesn't know what to say. She's so like, Justin's like a bump on the log. He does not know what to say or how to, he has got no game.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are, you're all meeting, like be normal, like talk about where'd you go to school and what do you like to do and what's this and where do you work and that kind of like regular, normal,
like
let's get
talk.
to small talk, like let's get to know each other. And so Justin's like not helping at all because Yari's awkward. She does not know. So it's really on Justin and Becky to kind of drive the conversation. Justin's doing nothing. And Becky feels like I need to be the one in charge. But instead of doing the small talk, Becky's like, well, did you talk about the future? It's
Yeah.
like, fuck, Becky.
Did you kiss?
No. Did you kiss? And so Justin then so Yari's embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's going to make her embarrassed. And then Justin's all mad. He's like, I'm mad. Because, I know Yari's uncomfortable and I wish she hadn't said of that. And then, it's like, okay, but Justin, then talk.
Then tell her before the date, like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about, and this is what we're not going to talk about.
But he's such a pussy.
Yeah.
He can't stand up to his wife.
No.
What I just love is that, but he's super attracted to, it seems like Justin's super attracted to strong women.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But you can't seem to stand up to strong women.
Yeah.
And Becky perceives herself as a really strong woman, but she's not a strong woman. She sees herself as a strong woman, but she's an idiot.
She's a bitch.
Yeah. But she's kind of dumb. Like she sees herself one way, but it's like, she's a idiot.
Yeah.
This whole thing was just, it feels so gross. And they keep kind of trying to cover their tracks in terms of, well, we put something up on a regular site and, we made it really clear how we wanted a second wife and that he's already married. It's like, I don't feel like you made it clear at all. I really feel like you catfished this woman and did not make it clear. that you wanted a second marriage and that this poor woman really got caught in this. And now whatever TLC is paying her, I'm all for it.
She said she didn't understand what was happening until, it's too late. She's like on this date. So they'll wrap up next week. She will dump him. And I hope we never see these two again.
Ugh. Yeah, I do not like them at all. At all.
Psych Legal Pop will be right back after these messages.
Hello, this is Tess Brigham, one half of the podcast Psych Legal Pop. When I'm not podcasting with my sister and analyzing pop culture, I'm a speaker who talks about mental health in the workplace. In today's post-pandemic hybrid working world, mental health matters more than ever. I specialize in empowering organizations to retain their valuable employees. I understand the unique challenges facing young adults in today's world, and I'm here to bridge the gap. So head over to my website, www.tessbrigham.com, to learn more about my speaking services and how I can help your organization reach new heights of success. Let's revolutionize your organization's approach to mental health and employee retention. Visit www.tessbrigham.com to explore how we can collaborate.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, let's move on to the Davis family. And this was Nick's night out.
This was Nick's episode.
He's
been kind of not heavily featured. It's been more about, Danielle and the other wives and all that. But yeah, this is Nick's to shine.
Wow. And I have to say that, when Nick takes a lady out, he really knows how to take a lady out. Nick.
Yes.
When Nick decides he's gonna, woo you, woo. Now, can we, I first just want to break this down for a second about this date. Okay. I need to talk about the outfits.
Oh, we need to talk about it all.
And we need to talk about the carriage ride. And we also need to talk about the woman who was the carriage ride operator.
She was dressed quite interestingly too.
Yes. I'm glad you too, because I had to stop for a second. I was like, wait, hold on a second. What is happening here? Wow. So yeah, Nick goes on a date with Jasmine from the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see them, I guess they're getting dropped off in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Which looks like, so they're in Colorado. It's Aurora, Colorado. I don't know how big that is. And so in a parking lot that looks like it's on a Saturday or Sunday night.
Yeah, it's real empty.
Yeah, and it looks like it's sort of like downtown, right? That looks like it's
business district, yeah.
And it's dead.
Yeah.
There's no one down there.
Yeah.
And so he's wearing I just can't even. He's wearing a suit with no tie and it's like a black suit, no tie with a shiny lime green.
Well, it's not even lime green. It's kind of a very odd color green. And it's kind of like, it almost looks like it's It's like what is that fabric? It's
Sateen?
It's a satiny but kind of thick kind of texture. It looks like it has some texture to it, and it's green and black kind of mixed together. I mean, it's quite elaborate. You know, it's got like some kind of pattern on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's green and black, and it's like a textured kind of fabric. It's not like
not
a regular
plaid.
dress. No. It's not like a regular dress shirt. It almost looks kind of like form of paisley.
Yes.
It's hard to describe. You have to see it in person.
Yes. But he's got like a black tank top, right, underneath?
Oh, did he?
Or no? Was there anything on underneath
I don't think
the
so.
shirt? Because it
I
was
don't think so.
unbuttoned.
Oh.
Right?
I don't know. I didn't notice like these fine details. It was just a lot to take in.
It was a lot to take in. It was. Now, Jasmine was wearing a very tight-fitting black bodycon, right? But tight black dress.
High slits up the legs.
And she was showing a lot of cleavage. And trust me, Nick was taking that in. I mean, I've seen some memes of Nick because Nick's eyes were woof. And the other thing, too, which was so funny, because Nick is not the tallest man in the world.
No.
So
he's not short, but he's just, he's not tall.
Well, and she also she was wearing heels.
Yeah.
So, and, my husband is not tall. So, and he is like, maybe half an inch taller than I am. But when I wear heels, I'm taller than he is. So she was wearing like really high heels. Mm-hmm. So she was much taller than him. And it was funny. So that's like when he looks at her when they're standing, that's where his eyes go, or right to her chest. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame him, but it was just pretty funny. Like the entire carriage ride. He's looking at her.
He's just looking at her like a snack. I mean,
yes. Oh, yeah.
He is just ready to devour her. And no matter what he says about getting access to her mind first, I don't believe that.
Oh, hell no.
I mean, their chemistry, I feel like, that's what I feel. I feel like he picked her. And I feel like he has seen her in person before. Because
really?
He seems very familiar with her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to act like they've just met. And because did they say where they found her or where they met her? Like on some website?
Online. They kept saying online.
Whatever that means.
He definitely is attracted to her, and he definitely has chemistry.
And
like
she's attracted to him.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some kind of chemistry. I definitely think he's got more chemistry with her than he does with April.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen him have this much chemistry with any of them.
No, I don't know. I feel like he has more chemistry. I think he has chemistry with Danielle. I always felt like he did. A little bit.
But they're color coordinated too.
Yes.
The color of her, this is what I think they talked before. I think they planned this. The color of her eyeshadow is the exact same color that's of his shirt, which is not a common color. Okay. This is a very specific kind of green. And she's got this green eyeshadow, and she's wearing black as well.
Mm-hmm.
With all of these like weird bracelets and bangles and I don't know, jewelry.
Yeah.
She's got
her Scorpio necklace. Yeah. She's representing.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, he's very, very attracted to her for sure. For sure. So then they drop them off in a parking lot, and he's like, "Oh, your carriage awaits," and it is a carriage. So he takes her over to this carriage. So there's this horse-drawn carriage, and he brings her over to this carriage, and it was just, oh my God, it's this white carriage, and then so normally these carriages, part of it is this lure or appeal of these carriages is usually the person that operates the carriage is in top hat and a suit and with the tails, right? The illusion of old school, old timey, right? When we used to go via horseback. When that was our only mode of transportation. So we meet this woman. She is wearing, and I'm not joking, she's wearing magenta capri pants, a flowery shirt that I swear to is like on what you would find on the sale rack at Ross,
Mm-hmm.
and a pink cowboy hat. I mean, it was bizarre. She was you know what I mean? She looked
but her colors matched. There was all these fake flowers on the carriage, which kind of matched her color scheme.
Oh yeah. No, she had a look.
Yeah,
there was a look that was going on. She was like, you know, that all of her outfits that she wears are all pink, and they're all part of her general look for this
carriage. Yeah,
but I don't get it.
I don't know. Who knows what this woman had to hear? These two talk about, because they just got some GoPros attached to the carriage, and they're just toddling around downtown wherever
Yeah,
in the empty streets of
oh my god, and they're just
city.
Yeah, and they're going in circles, just in circles around these streets, and this conversation between Nick and Jasmine. Do you think that either of them know what they're talking about? I swear to God, these two are talking in gobbledygook.
Yeah. They're perfect for each other.
Oh, God.
I mean, she's like the female version of him.
Yes. I was raised in a world of spirituality grounded in science and mathematics. And
Nick says that their family's spirituality is based in what you just said, science.
Grounded in science and
mathematics. That's their form of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, yeah, that makes sense, because we know about science. We know about bacteria and viruses. And it's like, what?
So, yeah, Jasmine says that she was raised with 9 different religions. She was also raised pagan, which I don't quite understand I've never quite understood what paganism is. She has an otherworldliness, not present. She's not presently here. She has two different gods watching over her. Goddesses, sorry. Kwai Jin from the Buddhists, Ashan from the old African gods. And I'm not here to make fun. I'm not here to like rip on her and make fun. I'm not criticizing this at all. I am just here to say I don't know if she knows what she's talking about.
No.
What is paganism? I gotta look this up. Hold on.
Well, anyway, she said that these goddesses come from the pantheon. So she just was using so many words, just all word salad.
Yes.
And she said her mom was a minister, and the mom was the one that put her through all these 8 different religions, and then they settled on paganism, which is, a lot of our modern religions take things from paganism, like like the Easter eggs. I think that's rooted in paganism, and a lot of the things around Christmas. And
okay, paganism basically pagans believe that nature is sacred, all right, and that the natural cycles of birth, growth, and death observed in the world around us carry profoundly spiritual meanings. All right. Human beings are seen as part of nature along with other animals, trees, stones, plants, and everything else that are of this earth. All right, so
okay, that's reasonable.
Okay, all right, I'm with you. So why do we get so crazy about this stuff? Many pagans believe if it harms none, do what you will. All right, why do we get so worked up about this stuff?
Well,
does it seem bad to be a pagan?
No, I don't think anyone's saying that it is.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty neutral. I mean.
Oh, I always got the sense that people were very worked up about paganism.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, or maybe I'm getting that mixed up with satanic.
Well, yeah, that's
Satanism.
Satanism is very different.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But neither one of these things are religions.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one thing. Yeah. When she said they settled on paganism as a religion. Oh, it's really not a religion, but okay. Mm-hmm. Who cares? Call it what you want. But these two, they just love to come up with fantastical stories. And, the way that they speak is just kind of nutty. And I don't know, was it in the carriage ride or was it in that bar that they
Oh,
went
God.
to.
So
when
then
they start talking about the, the sex stuff.
Yeah, well, they talked about, so then he takes her to an empty bar, and it was so weird. He takes her to this like empty bar, and then he then tells her that he will spend a lot of time and energy on her mind and psychology. He says, "My sex is a powerful thing."
Oh, that's the best line of the show. Like, honey, he thinks this is what he does. He dickmatizes people. He's dickmatized Jen and April and Danielle, and he's going to dickmatize Jasmine because it's a powerful thing, and that's why these women stay. And
So
that's
you think
why they give over all their money, and he doesn't have to work.
So do you think that you think what Nick's got is so powerful?
It's doing something, Tess. I mean, look, he's got 3, almost 4 women like roped into this. And yeah, I think I think he figured out a long time ago that if you can please a woman, you can make her feel special and pay attention to her, that'll go a long way for you.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I bet you he's done this his whole life. I bet you he's just stigmatized women. He's lived with them that hasn't had to work. And it's just, well, it does.
We see at the very end of this episode, so we'll get there. But
so that makes my point right there.
Yes, right there. Yeah. Keep going. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of all the other crazy stuff they talked about. And then she said something like, well, yeah, you're not going to get access to my body. Or you're not going to get access to my body before you have access to my mind. And then
there was this.
He said it first.
Yeah, they go back and forth, and I think that's part of his spiel, right? He really comes in where he's like, oh, I'm not gonna make her feel right. I'm gonna make sure that she knows that I'm
gonna respect her.
I'm gonna respect her.
But I'm also gonna tell her that we're gonna be down to fuck soon. Okay, we're not going to play this game for very long.
Well, but hold on a second. But I think but then she says something to the effect of, but you're going to have to, hey, you're going to have to work for it a little bit. And then he goes into this whole thing of, he invites her to spend the weekend, and she goes, well, we're going to need to take things slow. And he's like, okay, but, come on over. He's just like, okay, fine, take things slow. And they go back and forth about this. And then we don't really see the end of the date, but we do see Nick. So then we see Nick coming home, and which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, Danielle is waiting up for him.
In the dark. She's in the dark, and I'm like, are the producers still there? Are the cameraman? So you're waiting
on.
Yeah, you're waiting in the dark alone with the producers. And I thought that was so odd.
Yeah, what time is it?
Yeah, yes. And so he's like, "Hi, you're up? You're waiting in the dark? Did you all?" I was just like, I don't know if this was staged or not.
Yeah, she has a full face of makeup and some very heavy fake eyelashes on.
Yeah,
it's not like she's washed her face, gotten ready for bed, taken off her eyelashes. No, she's all dolled up and her hair up and like 2 little ponytails. She's literally dolled up.
Yeah. So what I wondered is like if they shot a bunch of stuff with Nick leaving right for the date, and they're like, oh, well, let's all wait here until it's over. And then one by one, like, they got Vera ready for bed, and then, oh, okay, good night. And then, April got up and left, and then Jen got up and left. And then, it's just poor Danielle. She's the only person that's, poor Danielle. She's the only one that's left. And then it's like the sun starts to set, the sun slowly. And then the cameraman's like, can we turn on the light? And Danielle's like, no. Because it was, and Danielle's not that great of an actress. Like, she's like, well, how did it go? And okay. And she asked him, oh, did you, like, not really thinking she was going to get this answer. Like, oh, did you kiss? And he's like, yeah, we kissed. And she, like a deer in the headlights.
Her face just like, she was crestfallen after that.
Yeah, crestfallen. And then he says, well, I asked her to, sleep over, come over for a sleepover, stay the night. And, she just looks like, she did not want that answer, at all.
And she kind of pushed back a little bit, but ultimately agreed, which what she always does.
Yeah.
And she just says in her interview later, she's like, yeah, I have a problem with like telling people that I'm okay with things when I'm not really okay with things. And, I'm not honest about how I feel. It's like, yeah, Danielle.
Yeah. No kidding.
You can't do that. Like, I know that's part of being a grown up, is that you have to, I know it's hard, but you should have told him, I think this is too soon. I'm not comfortable with it. She never advocates for herself.
Yeah.
She just doesn't.
Yeah. And then Nick tells her, well, you know what? He's gotta do a little, what's the word for it? It's like, he's gotta keep his position in the family going. So he's like, okay, Danielle, let's go upstairs and I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
He's like, what did he say? He said, I'm going to go upstairs and knock you out.
Yeah. Since you're having trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
Just go knock you out.
Yeah. And so Danielle is very pleased.
It must work.
I guess so.
It's a powerful thing.
I guess so. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of more stuff. I didn't really take notes. I never take notes on this show because I'm obsessed with just watching the body language. But I'm trying to think of more crazy stuff that they said to each other because I feel like it was a lot. But
no, it was just a bunch of it. Yeah, the whole thing, the whole carriage ride and the gobbledygook that they would say to each other about, I was raised with all these religions, and he's talking about the thinking and all that stuff. They have no idea what they're saying to each other. It was just a bunch of just talking, just.
Yeah, they did have that kind of awkward kiss in the carriage.
You thought it was awkward? I don't know. I think that it was.
Well, I think he was sitting.
Sorry, I think he was trying to shove his tongue down her throat, and I think she was a little like, "Okay, wait a second, buddy."
Yeah. Well, they were sitting. It was so odd because they had to. It's a very small carriage, so basically, they had to just sit facing forward. You couldn't really move your body, and so he's kind of craning his neck over, to kiss her. A little bit awkward, I thought, but I'm sure. But I think they enjoyed. Not awkward in that they didn't enjoy it. I think they both enjoyed it. No, she's hot for him. And then show this the scene from next episode, and she's there for the sleepover, and she they're in the bedroom, of course. They're in the bedroom, and she plops down on the big old bed, and Danielle, her face is horrified.
For me, the Davis setup, I think, is a lot harder. That would be a lot harder for me than the way in which things are set up for Sister Wives, right? Because with Sister Wives, they each have their own place. So, you have no idea what's going on in that house. You don't know if every night when he's at Mary's or Christine's, if they're having sex or not. You don't know. So, but at the Davises, if they're in the boom boom room, they're having sex, because if you're not in the shared bed, you're in, then do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this seems a lot more, exactly what's going on.
Oh yeah. There's no privacy really.
Yeah. So I don't quite, I don't know. I'm finding a hard time that if Danielle's getting so bothered by this, shouldn't this whole situation have always bothered Danielle? Like every time Nick is with Jen, wouldn't that just bother you? Period. And they had Vera, so at some point, that would have bothered you.
Well, I think Danielle, she had some time to get used to, because Vera, so when last season, at the end of the season, when Danielle, they had this commitment ceremony with all of them, Jen was pretty pregnant. But now Vera in this show is like a year old. So, I mean, it's been like it's been over a year. I guess she's had some time to get used to certain things. And then just when she was getting used to it, then they spring Jasmine on her.
Mm-hmm.
And Jasmine's a lot. Jasmine is very it's going to be very threatening to Danielle. You know what I mean? Like, because Nick has a lot more in common with Jasmine than Danielle, I think. And I think Nick is super attracted to her, and it's not going to go well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see even when in their first, they get back into that hot tub. I don't know whose hot tub that is, or that's just.
I thought that was their hot tub.
But they moved. Remember, they moved.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they have a hot tub in the new house too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of people in that hot tub, and there's a scene where like Nick kind of moves up on her and kisses her in the hot tub, and Danielle and then they cut to Danielle, and she's just like horrified. So these last couple episodes, it's just going to be a lot for Danielle.
Yeah. Poor Danielle. Poor Danielle. All right, let's wrap it up. Boy, we got 2 more episodes of this show.
Yeah, I'll be sad when it's over.
Yeah.
So we got the Merrifields next. We got the scenes from next week. Garrick has, already dating someone else, and she's come to their house.
Oh my gosh. I know, for some reason, I'm either the way my thing recorded, I didn't get to see scenes. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, she's from Michigan. So I think this will be interesting because, the Merrifields, they seem to feel most comfortable in situations where they have the upper hand. They're the Americans, and there's like a power imbalance and all of that. And doesn't really work as well in America, because last season they briefly dated this woman who I couldn't believe they got together with her. I don't know if they were just doing it for content or whatever, but she lived out in LA, and Garrick and Danielle went out to LA to visit her. She didn't come to them. They went out there to spend some time with her. When Roberta found out about this woman, she was extremely, extremely pissed. And anyway, this woman was like, she told them, she's like, well, I see how your dynamic is in your family, and that doesn't really work for me. And she's telling them that she was like a nurse, and she was going to school for something else, and she's like, I have like goals, and I have things that I want to do, and I want more independence. She was basically telling them, I'm not just going to come into your family and just do things your way. And she was gone very quickly. So I have a feeling, this lady, it could be the same kind of thing, because she is probably, not going to want to just come in and do their wacky lifestyle with God speaking to them. That's how they make their decisions.
Yeah.
When God talks to Garrick, and then that's what they do.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
We'll see. Can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. As we mentioned at the top of the hour, top of the hour of our news broadcast. Top of the show. Check out our patreon.com/psychlegalpop. There are other ways to support the show. Please, if you like the show, please give us a 5-star rating and review. That really does help us out. You can also subscribe to the show. We are here every Tuesday and Thursday. As we mentioned, we'll be starting back with our Sister Wives coverage starting June 11th. Are doing our Sister Wives recaps or rewinds. And then Thursdays, we have various documentaries. This Thursday, we are covering the J-Lo, or the documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, and the movie, which is called, I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, I don't even remember now.
Oh my gosh, what was the movie called? This is me now.
Yeah.
And actually, there's all this controversy about the two of them and divorcing.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I texted you and I was like, oh my God, they can't get divorced. We just released this. We're about to release this show. But maybe that'll be good for us.
Maybe we'll have breaking news that we'll have to maybe add on or talk.
Yes.
Definitely talk about it in our Patreon.
Yeah. So, so that's on Thursday. We just did what Jennifer did, last week. So go check that out. You can find us on Instagram at PsychLegalPop. And, you can find me on Little Miss Recap on her Patreon. We're covering The Jinx season 2. It's really good. And I did Won't You Be My Neighbor with that. That was really good. The Mr. Rogers. It's so good.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah. So,
all right.
All that good stuff.
So much going on.
Yes. So much happening. All right. See you all next time. Bye.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.